Yeah.
I think we spoke Wednesday. We said no chance of playing the Gibraltar game, but there looks some concern. So, is he available for selection? Has he come through everything that's needed?
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes to show, look, when club and country work together, we've had a plan from day one, of how best to get Meps on that pitch on Sunday. So it was always, we were never going to play him against Gibraltar. Not only for that reason, but there was an opportunity to give some of the young players caps and opportunities and minutes. So, yeah, it's part of the plan. When club and country work well together like that, we get the outcome we both want. So we've got a fit Meps now.
Other than obviously Wes Burns,
Yeah.
You mentioned other niggles and stuff around the camp. How's that developed over these days? Is everyone fit firing, or have you got a few concerns?
No concerns, Geraint. I think the plan has absolutely worked. We've given some players minutes that needed them coming into the camp. We've always had this, haven't we? Over camp after camp, we've always had players coming into camp that are not playing as many minutes domestically as we'd like them to. So that was a perfect opportunity for us to give people like Kiefer minutes and goals and full of confidence now, and some young caps that really impressed as well.
Croatia 0, Turkey 1. That was a bit of a surprise. How does that change the dynamic of the group and what you've got to do with the 3 games you've got left?
Yeah, probably win all 3. But we're going to take one game at a time. We can't control. Look, there's been surprise results, hasn't there? Look at the Latvia scoreline as well with 10 men. So, that was a strange result as well. So, yeah, we can only control what we can control now. 3 games left, and full focus is on Sunday's game and getting the 3 points.
Have Croatia been a bit difficult to analyse because they've got some injuries, and defensively they didn't look like the Croatia at the World Cup either. What's your analysis of where Croatia are at the moment?
Well, they've got strength in depth, Geraint, haven't they? So it's not just all about Modric, and they've got a pool of players that, they might have 3 or 4 players out. Defensively, they'll probably be aware of the last couple of performances. And I thought Turkey were very good on the night as well. So, give Turkey credit. I thought they were as good as probably Croatia fell short of the standards they've set in the past. But irrespective of what happens, we know we're in for a tough test on Sunday.
Rob, you can have forward as well.
Thank you. Hi, Rob.
You broke the rule.
I suppose the one thing is, Rob, you now have clarity, don't you? You know what you have to do. And how important is, you say take one game at a time, how important is the fact that it's at the Cardiff City Stadium, your first one?
Yeah, it's massive for us. Look, it was lovely last week to go up to Wrexham. I said before, it was the home of Welsh football. For many years when I was a young lad watching Wales play there. But the atmosphere we create in Cardiff City Stadium is incredible. And I've come out publicly and said in the past that I think it was the support that helped us get across the line in 2 big games in Austria and Ukraine, 100%. The supporters are fantastic. I see that we've already sold 30 plus thousand. So on a Sunday evening, our support is tremendous and will, again, continue to play a massive part.
Do you think a win tomorrow sort of reinvigorates then and drives you on to the next 2? Is that the aim?
We're off the back of a very positive camp, Rob. So, a great performance against a very good South Korean team, very disciplined in our defensive shape with a clean sheet. To then go to Latvia, they've just shown recently what they're capable of doing. And to go and give a very disciplined performance, a different type of a challenge than what we faced against South Korea. But the ultimate professionals of what those lads are, to go and give a performance like that and score the 2 goals. We're off the back of a very positive camp. We're off the back of a positive performance against a different type of challenge again in Gibraltar, but it gives us an opportunity to play some young players. So the camp's great. The lads are brilliant. We're all full of confidence and we can't wait for this game on Sunday evening.
Rob, I've got to ask you about this. You've seen, I'm sure, latest speculation about what might be or might be happening above you. You seem to have had this in the background throughout this campaign, despite the fact you've got a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to Noel Mooney? Is the fact that you've got coaches here today, is that indicative, a sign of the unity in the camp?
Yeah, I'd say so. I've not spoken to the chief executive, so it is speculation. I've not spoken to him at all about it, so I couldn't tell you whether it's true or not. All I've got to focus in, Rob, is before the World Cup I signed a 4-year deal, and the long-term plan for me is to start introducing young players into this group. We're in a transition period. We've said this time and time again. You know, we're losing big players like Joe Allen, Gareth Bale, not just for what they bring us on the pitch, but what the value they add in the changing room. We've seen the other night that the young talent we've got coming through, we've seen last night with what the under-21s did in the 96th minute to get an equaliser in Prague against a very good team. The relationship me and Matty have got, we're developing these young players, and it's going to take time. Hence why we signed the 4-year contract, to get the job done. I get the frustration at times. We want to win games of football. Every game I play, I want to win. But there's got to be a little bit of perspective on it as well. And, you know, the bigger picture is we are planning for the future. I'm doing what's best for the FAW, not for myself. And by introducing the young players in the manner and way we're doing, I think it's the best way to make Wales better in the future.
And if for some reason there is any ploy, move to undermine you, do you think it's brought your players together with you? Because I know it's been said to you before, without even asking, the players are really loyal to you. They come out and say it without being prompted.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's never been in doubt for me. I just wish the supporters that you guys could see what we've got in that changing room. It's incredible. Staff here today. Yeah, it means a lot.
Okay. Lawrence? Thanks, Rob.
Try not to get in the way of all the cameras.
All right, Lawrence.
Hiya, Rob. Look, you've talked about how good the camps have been in the last couple, and in the summer, actually, when the results weren't. Does it frustrate you, the noise from outside?
Yeah, but look, I've been in football long enough. I keep saying this. I've been a player until I was 35. I've been in management, coaching. I get it. Look, we're in an industry that we want to win games of football. We do. As a group of staff, as players, we all want to win every game that we play. You know, so I feel the frustration as well. But the bigger picture is we've got a plan, you know, and I have to keep level-headed. We have to keep introducing these young players into the squad to make us better as an association. It's not about the here and now. I can't worry about the business side of it. I can't about cost cutting. I can't worry about all that. I've got a job to do as a football coach, and that is to get a team on the pitch, to get them in the right place, physically, mentally, to go and win games of football for us as a nation. And that's what I'll remain focused on doing.
Given the reports this morning and the coaching staff that have come in today, we don't usually see them for press conferences. What's the sort of thinking behind that?
Well, you'll have to ask them. It's a great gesture from the staff. It's not something I was ready for, but I really appreciate and respect that.
It just shows how tight you guys are and how behind they are.
We are, absolutely. As a group in that changing room, as a group of staff, we're really close and everybody's pushing in the right direction. Like I said, from a footballing point of view, we're all right, we're okay. We're probably 2 points off where we'd like to be. When you forecast results at the start of the campaign, if you look at it, have we got a right to go to Turkey and beat them? Probably expectations because of what we did in the Euros and beating them out there. Probably does raise expectations slightly to go and, we can go and get a win in Turkey. Reality means, look at what they did against Croatia the other night. It's never that easy in international football. So we're probably 2 points off where we're at. So, we're all right as a group of staff and players. We understand the game in the summer's let us down. We know that. But everybody has off days, everybody has bad days. And how they've reacted in September, and certainly in this camp up to now, has been incredible.
And just finally, for me, the fans tomorrow, what's your message to them as they head to the Cardiff City Stadium for that match?
Keep backing the players, 100%. The support has been incredible. I said earlier, they played a massive part in helping us achieve our aim of qualification for the Euros, for the World Cup, promotion from B2A in the Nations League. They played a massive part of it. And it's a very special stadium when we have it rocking like we do with 32,000. So same again tomorrow night, please.
I'll just take a couple more before, in case our Croatian friends want to ask a question as well. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Rob, you're quite right. The noise is the noise, but it's the players that are the most important thing, isn't it? And them being prepared properly, as you said they have been, and coming out and giving a performance like Ukraine and like Austria tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got to ignore all the noise. It is noise, and that's it. So we try to protect the players as much as we can. And we have done, we will do, and full focus will be on that game tomorrow night.
Yeah, the Gibraltar game was, a great chance to blood some players, but goals bring confidence, don't they?
Yeah, and that's why it was great for Kiefer to have 45 minutes. We had to drag him off in the end. He wanted to stay and get his hat-trick, but it was a worthwhile exercise for that, to give him minutes. He's not playing as many minutes as club as we want. Probably 7 out of the starting 11 are not playing. You know, we've got to factor that into it as well. We're not a nation that has every single player coming in playing Premiership football week in, week out. We're not. You know, let's be a little bit, understand where we're coming from here. What those players give to us every camp, it's incredible. They come in, whenever they put that jersey on, they give the performance of their lives for us, and they're not playing at club level. So that was a worthwhile exercise in the week, not only for people like Kiefer to get minutes, but the young lads. So people like Charlie Savage, Joe Lowe, you know, Liam Cullen, Regan Poole, to throw them in and give them the caps and the performance, irrespective of who they're playing against. To give that level of performance was special for them, and great for us to see as coaches.
As media, we always like to ask where in the pecking order this game comes in your career. I mean, how important a game is this, or is it just the next one?
Cliche, it's the next game, isn't it? It's the next game. There's 3 points at stake, and we want those 3 points.
Great, thank you.
Any Croatian journalists want to ask a question, or are you quite happy? Okay, thank you.
Can I just,
Ben, no,
just one about the under-21s?
Yeah, yes. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
That's a
the
positive.
under-21s, Rob, we saw some absolutely wonderful scenes in the Czech Republic, and with that last-minute equaliser. There's some really good things happening in the 21s at the moment.
With the 19s, with the 21s, we've got strength and depth. We've got a pool of players now that are coming through. Eventually, we'll, like you saw last week, look, we took people like Luke Harris, that's been a part of it before, but we took him with us last week. Owen Beck was outstanding last night, along with many others. And at the right time, we will introduce him back into the first team. But that relationship myself and Matty have got between senior team and 21s is working well. Matty's been with us this morning. He's probably had an hour's sleep overnight from flying back. He's come down today to give us a bit of a debrief on what went on, and we all the staff watched it last night, and so proud of them, you know, to dig in deep when they had to. It's not an easy place to go to. A couple of years back we might have lost that game, but to dig in and score in the manner in which they did, with a volley, in the way he took it, was incredible, and it feels like a win at the end, so I'm really pleased for him.
And a sprint down the line from Matty as well.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he should be doing that anymore. But no, I'm pleased for him, because again, the work he puts into it, the detail he goes into, is he deserves that moment as well.
Brilliant, thank you.
Cheers,
Thank See you tomorrow.
Yes, sorry Ben, unwaith eto yn Saesneg. You know where you stand now going into these 3 games. It's in your hands. Doesn't make it easy. 3 wins.
Well, I wouldn't say easy, but it's one that, look, we knew what we were coming into before this camp. We all knew that 3 wins was what we were targeting. So from our standpoint, I don't think a lot has changed. 3 big games, and it's starting. It's a tough one against Croatia tomorrow.
You would have watched the game against Turkey, I'm sure. Perhaps they're not quite the same side they once were, but still a side that have got a very good record against Wales and will be incredibly tough to beat, I'm sure.
They're a world-class team. They've shown that for a long time now, and it's a lot of the same players. But well, look, that doesn't mean that they're unbeatable. We have to show them a lot of respect for the quality they've got. But it's a game that we have to go in believing that we can get a result, and we've been working all week building up to that.
It's a big game for yourselves, for supporters, for the manager as well. You'll be aware of the speculation that's emerged ahead of such an important match. What have you made of it? What has the squad made of it?
As far as we're concerned, it's just outside noise. We're very supportive of the manager. We're a tight-knit group, and I think that's part of the reason we've had the success we have over the years, just because we all stick together, and stuff that comes from outside the camp is nothing to do with us. It's nothing we can control, and as far as we're concerned, we're fully behind him.
The manager was speaking to us a little earlier, some of the coaching staff in here as well, as perhaps a sign of unity. He seemed quite emotional.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, like I said, we're a tight-knit group. We stick together in the good times and the tough times, and it's not anything that we can control what goes on outside of our group. We show it together. We've always done that. We've shown that we have that connection between each other, connection with the fans, and that's how we've bred success in the past, so nothing changes for us.
Are you upset that such things are being said, that there appears to be moves against the manager?
I'm not upset. I think it's football. I think outside of our group, things are going to be said. It's part and parcel of what football is. But I don't think we've got anything to be upset about. We just need to concentrate on big game tomorrow.
And with that in mind, there is the chance to make it a very special night. You've had incredible memories at Cardiff City Stadium in the past, walking out as captain as well. How emotional will it be for you, and how much are you looking forward to it?
I'm always very proud when I get to wear the armband for Wales, and this is a huge game. We know what it can mean. It can set us up for the last two games, but yeah, we have to be fully in control of the emotions tomorrow night. We know what's required of us, and we know what we have to do.
Thanks, Ben. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Hey Ben, can I just pick up on what Chris is asking there? Can you give us a sense of, we've got it from the players when Aaron has spoken, he's talked about Rob and how he brings everyone together. Can you give us a sense of how he does unify you with those little 1%ers, the way that sometimes off the pitch we won't get to see, the supporters won't get to see, why you are such a tight-knit group?
I think it starts from the top with the manager. He puts things in place every single day. He creates a good environment. It's professional every day. He creates an enjoyable environment that everybody wants to come on camp. And I think having a manager that's always behind you, giving you every bit of support whenever you need it. Look, we've had boys coming into this camp, haven't necessarily had minutes in the past, or things haven't been going as well at their club. So you know that you've got a manager who backs you, who sticks by you through thick and thin. That breeds loyalty, and I think he deserves our support now.
In terms of a defensive unit, it was one of the players looking out for today. Was Chris Mepham going to be out there? He was. Rob has said to work well between club and country. Listen, you're the senior leader of that defensive unit. How much good news is it that Chris Mepham is available for selection against Croatia?
Yeah, Meps is a really important part of our team, and I think his performances for Wales in the past have shown why he deserves to be part of our team. He stood up to every challenge that's been put in front of him, and that continuity going into a big game like Croatia is good to have.
In terms of some of the younger players that are coming through, what's the challenge for them to step up to the next level when you're playing against Luka Modric? When you outlined it in a previous answer, they are a world-class side, proven. The likes of Jordan James as well, who impressed against Latvia. What is the challenge for them and for you as the captain to make sure he not just survives but thrives tomorrow night, if selected?
Look, we have players in the squad who aren't playing against players like Luka Modric or Kovacic week in, week out, but I think every time we've put this Welsh shirt on, I haven't seen a player play with any fear, and I think having that back in as a group from the manager, from every player around them, it gives players confidence. And I think it's not about individuals for our Wales team, it's about a collective. And if a player's having a tough game or a tough moment, we know that we're going to stick together in those moments. So I think that's what it's about. We're a team.
Hiya, Ben.
Hi.
Just asked about the defensive unit, because obviously you took a bit of criticism in June, but then September, there seemed a real kind of resilience and a determination from you guys to sort of put that right, if you like. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, look, I think when you concede the goals we did in the summer, then things needed to be addressed, and we've done that pretty quickly. I think in the last few camps we were very solid, picked up the clean sheets, which is what we want to build our foundations on. So yeah, very happy over the last few games.
And in terms of that central midfield, and I know you touched on it there with the Luka Modric, but for Jordan James, an incredible sort of moment for him and type of players that he's going to be up against in particular if he starts.
Yeah, I think Croatia's midfield three is like the heartbeat of their team. They have three world-class players in there that we have to be, at our best to contain. But we've got full faith whoever plays in there for us can do that, knowing he's got his full team's backing behind him.
Kiefer Moore, a couple of goals on against Gibraltar just to sort of warm himself up. His record is quite remarkable for Wales, isn't it? What does he bring to you for the last few years in terms of on and off the pitch?
I think on the pitch he's scoring goals. That's all you can ask for from your strikers at this level. He brings a big physical presence. He gives us a good outlet if ever we need to. But Kiefer's a great guy to have around the camp. You know, his background, he doesn't let a day go by. He keeps his standards high. Gives us such a big lift on the pitch, and we're very lucky to have him.
And just finally for me, I know you've talked a little bit about the sort of situation this morning, but did the manager raise it with you guys? I mean, how was it handled sort of inside camp?
It hasn't really got as far as inside camp, to be honest. I think I mentioned earlier, it's outside noise, it's out of our control. It's not something we've had any discussions, any conversations about. It's kept completely away from us. So as far as we're concerned, all we're focused on is the game tomorrow. Thanks.
Any more questions? Graham?
Ben, you talk about outside noise. Part of that noise this week came from the organisation's own chief exec. Did that surprise you? And as captain, is that helpful or unhelpful?
Well, it's not helpful. We don't want noise coming from within the organisation. We hope that everybody is on the same page. And look, it is disappointing to hear, but as far as we're concerned, that's not our focus. Our focus is the game against Croatia tomorrow. It's been swept under the rug as far as we're concerned, and we look forward to the game.
Do you think expectations, obviously, because you've been to 2 Euro finals, been to a World Cup, for some people they've maybe gone a bit out of hand?
Look, we've created those expectations, and those expectations, they exist within our group as well. Look, we've performed well in the past. We've gone to major tournaments, and we want to experience it again. It's definitely hard to get there. It's been hard every time, but that's what we aspire to do, and that's what we're working towards again.
Thanks, Ben.
No problem.
Excellent. Diolch yn fawr, Edwin. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the